welcome back to another Weird Wednesday. Today is going to be an artist appreciation day. Today we're going to take some time and respect the work of Lee Brown Coye. Now, the title of this video comes from this book, which is a coffee table book, an art book called Pulp Macabre, The Art of Lee Brown Coye's Final and Darkest Era. And the way I came across his work in the first place was through a Weird Tales magazine a few weeks ago, which you saw on this channel if you're watching. During my Weird Wednesdays, I went through one, I think it was September of 1951, and that one had a Lee Brown Coye cover, and it was of a pirate ghost. And I really enjoyed his style, so I became a little bit more interested in finding out more about his vibe. Lee Brown Coye was born, I think, in Syracuse or Ithaca, New York, somewhere in New York State, and he was a self-taught artist. And one of the beauties of self-taught art, which is one of my favorite things to watch, really, it's why I love folk art so much, and I think in a weird way he fits into the macabre folk art, which is like the best type of art, is because you get to see someone's like innate desire to create and capture something with a mood or a vibe to it, but because it's sort of self-taught, it's got a very unique angle on it. And it's why I love the work of Maud Lewis in Canada, for example, and I made a whole video on that, where just folk art in general is just so phenomenal, and I've never seen the sort of dark version of that, and I got that with Lee Brown Coye. So I ordered this book, and again, this has a lot more art, so we're gonna flip through it in this video, as well as look at some original Weird Tales magazines that contain Lee Brown Coye art in them. With this opportunity, we will also be able to discover some new stories from other authors that might interest you, but we're going by means of artwork. So one of the things that he did in his life was he really liked sticks, because he was inspired by his walks in the woods and he saw some stick structures. And he did create a lot of stick-like art. You will see it when we flip through things. And he did struggle a lot in his life with some mental health problems and with some addictions. And Weird Tales helped him bounce back. And so did Carcosa Press. So Wagner, who is a big name in the fantasy world, created Carcosa. And I do have one original book, and this is from Hubie Caves Morgenstrom and others. It's probably the most expensive book that I own. Maybe this and the first edition of Infinite Jest. But I really had to have this. This is my ultimate favorite artifact. And it has many illustrations inside, including the front cover by Lee Brown Coye, and you'll see a little bit more of this as we flip through Pulp Macabre. And another one is this one by Worst Things Waiting by Manly Wade Wellman, and I got the soft cover of this. These are incredibly difficult to find. I was surprised at how hard it was to even get the soft cover of this book. But again, his artwork is just mesmerizing. It's right there. It's simple and dark, and it just captures your attention right away. Now, another thing you should know about Lee Brown Coye is that he's illustrated a lot of covers for Arkham Press, specifically Lovecraft things and weird fiction. So obviously I don't have these. I wish I did. Maybe one day I'll get lucky enough to get my hands on one of those too. And he illustrated the covers of more Weird Tales magazines that I don't have. So I'll put them on the screen right now. But now that you've seen a little bit of all of these things, let's start flipping through and looking at some Weird Tales and also this book. Okay, so these three have a cover designed by Lee Brown Coye. I think they were painted. I'm not entirely sure, but they're in color. We have taken a look at this one before in a previous Weird Wednesdays episode, and I think this was done for something else first and then used for a Weird Tales cover, but it's pretty great. We got this ghostly pirate,
This one I love very much. We haven't talked about it yet, but it's an illustration of Notebook Found in a Deserted House by Robert Bloch, and it's got this very cool ghostly figure in the background. And these two have only the colored cover and nothing else inside by Lee Brown Coye, so we're going to put these aside. And then we have this one here, which has another cover by him in color. I'm sorry, it's in rough shape. This isn't one of my good condition ones. But this one has a bunch inside, and I flagged them. And it's not the only one because we have all of these. So this is just in my collection, but there are many others out there, I'm sure, which have some Lee Brown Coye in them. I just had to flip through them, take some time, and see which one I can find. So I flagged them, and we're going to go through them because I really like to see the originals. You know, it's kind of cool to see the authentic artifact. I mean, this also makes this fun. I've been hoarding these like crazy, so it's good use of them, I think. Okay, so let's take a look at this one first. This one is The Might Have Been by Edmund Hamilton. And this is the illustration. It helps that they tell you, you know, it usually says heading, but you get to see the full original piece. Really like this kind of droopy. Now another one I flagged was this one. So it's called The Ghost Hunt. And here we have this splotchy blood. Very, very cool. Now I will mention that these markers that I put in are acid-free paper, okay? So even though it's very bleached, it's acid-free. So this one is The October Game by Ray Bradbury. And I found a quote from Lee Brown Coye saying that he really enjoyed illustrating Ray Bradbury, so we might see a few more, but this is one of them. Then we have this glorious one. So this is The Master of the Crabs by Clark Ashton Smith. I don't know what's happening here, but I love it. I'm here for it. Then we have The Professor's Teddy Bear by Theodore Sturgeon. And then this little creature. And then lastly, in this one, we have The Marrow by Seabury Quinn. And here we have a very elaborate illustration in black and white. So cool. Right, so I'm not going to look at these in any particular order, but this one is a cover done by Pete Kuchloff. I don't see much of him, but this is a pretty cool one. It's from September of 1946. And here we have no reprints according to the table of contents. Sorry, I'm trying to... Now maybe I'll use a library snake. Just give me a second. All right, so Alice and the Allergy by Fritz Leiber. Very, very grotesque. So this one's by Banley Bannister, Six Flights to Terror, and it's white with a black background for once. And I like that you can always see his signature there too, so it kind of reconfirms it. But most times we do get a sign somewhere saying who the artist is. And then the last one in this copy is an illustration for The Polar Vortex by Malcolm Ferguson. So this one is from, I want to say 1951. And the artist for this is Charles A. Kennedy. And this one has only one. So we're going to just go to that one illustration. One of the greatest students of mankind is the devil. God, this is so cool. I just love how it's so crowded. Like, the more you look at it, the more you see. I don't think I'm doing it enough justice here. I'm trying to not cast a shadow here, but wow. Outstanding. And it's in such great condition. This is March 1949, and the artist for the cover is Matt Fox. This arrived to me fully intact, and then when I took it out of the bag, the one that they give you from the store, the tape just clung on to this guy's head and it wouldn't come off. And I'm afraid that I'm the one who messed this up. And yeah, I'm not very happy with myself for that. Now let's flip through this one. And what we got here is one of the original Weirdisms. So I'm gonna pull out this and show you it in full. So we definitely have at least 3 full-page Weirdisms. I have seen some people selling online, like on eBay, just this one page from a Weird Tales magazine because it's all they were able to save, I guess. And it had a little fun fact at the bottom about witches and wizards. And of course, we get to appreciate all of the dark contrast. Beautiful. This one's one of my personal favorites. It's not just because of this platypus thing here at the bottom, but this figure looks very piratey in a very cool way. It's got this grotesque sort of face and it's high contrast background. It's got a little fun fact at the bottom. I don't know, I really like this. If I had to save one, it would probably be this one, I think. I don't know. Let's keep looking. Maybe I'll find something better. But so far, this one's like the top-notch one for me. And then the very last one is a Derleth kind of frontispiece, I guess. And it's for the Testament of Claiborne Boyd. I have not read this, but this creature looks very interesting. So I am intrigued. Okay, this one's not in the greatest condition. It's from March of 1945. The cover is done by A.R. Tilburn, and he does a lot of these Egypt kind of themed ones. So I'm pretty excited to get to some of these. And I found a few Lee Brown Coyes in it. So let's get to those. This one's called Please Go Away and Let Me Sleep. Sorry, you can see my shadow of my phone trying to film here. It's pretty great. See, I've put this cloth here so that I could have a nice black background, and all of these are falling from the magazine. So it's little pulpy material because they're so highly acidic. Now this one is from November of 1948. And the cover is done by John Junta, and it says there are no reprints in this one, so all originals. And we are going to flip to, wow. So this is a story by Theodore Sturgeon, and it's called The Perfect Host. And we have this skull raven thing going on here. I feel like I'm getting really good at recognizing his artwork without reading this little Lee Brown Coye. Like, if you showed me this now, I would definitely be able to recognize it, I think. Now, some of these titles did not age well, so, you know, be prepared for that. So this is a story by Robert Bloch. Blessed Are the Meek by Stephen Grandin. Really like this drippy art. I know I've said it already, but it looks really cool. I always select that font sometimes from Canva when I create thumbnails or something. I really like the Halloween drippy blood kind of font, or yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool. This one's done by Carl Jacobi. Incident at the Galloping Horse. We have this kind of creepy looking figure. I really want to read these stories. I don't know. I'm going to have to alternate how I present my Weird Tales, Weird Wednesdays, because I don't have the patience to flip through each one of these and read them cover to cover. So I'm going to have to do them themed or something, because this is way more fun, just kind of hopping through them for a purpose. Here's another weirdism. Again, a witch or wizard. I like that. Very, very cool. So this is the one magazine that is in worst condition. It was glued before with a bunch of highly acidic tapes and on the sides. It's a mess, but it's okay. It's okay. We love a little messy magazine. Um, it's got some gems inside nonetheless, and I can still appreciate it. I do love the little harmed ones. There's something special about them. It tells me that they've been read. So here we have Serpent Princess by Edmund Hamilton. And again, we have this beautiful full pager. There's a lot going on here. It's like a little baby, kind of. Very, very cool. This story is called And Give Us Yesterday by Seabury Quinn. And even though this is amazing, I kind of like its little slogan here. Is a fallen loved one not better left among the honored dead? Something's happening in this story, and it's exciting. Then there's The Frightened Engineer by Allison V. Harding, and this is again just spectacular. Like this creature and machinery. This guy's falling out. Wow. So this is another Carl Jacobi, and this is called the Lorenzo Watch. So this is from January of 1947, and it's another Tilburn cover. He does a lot, and he's spectacular in the black and white illustrations inside as well. We're gonna talk about him too. Okay, we're gonna talk about all of the people. But today it's about Lee Brown Coye. So this is the very last magazine of the day that we're flipping through. So let's enjoy it. So here we have a William Hope Hodgson story called The Hog. And I think this is a Carnegie story. And here we have this grotesque figure. If you've read The House on the Borderland, you might be noticing a bit of a pattern. I'm not sure I get it, but the nautical stuff is great. And here we have The Final Hour by Chester S. Gyre. How do you guys pronounce that? I'm sure someone will mention it. We have a clock, very mysterious figure. It says a soul set in type, run off the presses into glorious immortality. Don't know what that means, but it's cool. Then we have another sturgeon called Cellmate. Aw, I wouldn't mind him as my cellmate. He looks nice. And the very last one, The Handler by Ray Bradbury. Now, I'm not going to do a full flip through of this the way I do with Weird Tales because it's a giant book. But I just want to introduce you to it if you are interested in collecting art books or coffee table books. And if this is your vibe, you might enjoy this artist and this particular book. So I just want to show you it a little bit, give you a feel for it. So what we got is obviously hardcover. Inside you have a lot of artwork. And some of these are from other books, which we'll take a look at. Some are from Weird Tales magazines. Some of them are illustrations of just one story off here and there, you know, like an Arthur Machen or Algernon Blackwood or someone more famous or a classic. Not all of them are for original pieces. Now, what we also get is some descriptions from some of his friends, some quotations from people about him as a person, some of his life struggles, some of their opinions on his artwork, and how he bounced back and recovered and came back to the art world. And some of them describe some of the pieces or the artwork or the text itself that they were illustrating and what it meant for people to see them illustrated in such a way. And at the beginning, you get a very, very brief biographical note. In my opinion, it wasn't enough, but you do get some color photographs, and you get a lot of insight into his friendship with Carl Edward Wagner, who did a lot of sword and sorcery kind of things, and I think he did some Robert T. Howard pastiche. I'm gonna have to ask one of my friends a little bit more about him, but yeah, I love flipping through this. It's a beautiful work of art to have. I'm glad I got this.
Okay, that's it. Thank you all very much for watching and for joining me today. And hopefully you've been introduced to a brand new artist. And if not, you appreciated a favorite artist of yours from the past, I hope. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in a future video very soon.